You might hear my kitty cat meowing. He's very vocal. I wanted to share a story today about a very close friend of mine who years ago was kind of going through a lot of financial difficulty, and he didn't have a job and he was behind on his mortgage payment. And so he decided to do this program by John Randolph Price, and it's a 40-day prosperity program. And neither of us actually knew about Neville Goddard at the time. We knew about law of attraction, but not necessarily Neville Goddard. So he decided to do this 40-day prosperity program, and I haven't done it myself, but I think it involves journaling and visualization and gratitude, and you do it every day for 40 days. And so he built up all this momentum, and when he was finished with the 40 days, he sort of just kept doing it on his own. And it was either a week later or 2 weeks later, he had started running while he was doing the program. And so a week or two later, he was out running in this really industrial part of town. It's just this long stretch of road that runs alongside some railroad tracks, and it's just like factories and loading docks and warehouses. And so he was running down this long stretch of sidewalk, and he sees an envelope on the ground in front of him. And so he goes up to it, and there's money fanned out inside the envelope. And so he picks it up and looks around, and there's nobody anywhere for miles. It's completely deserted. It's all just factories. There's not even a door to knock on. And no cars, nothing. And so he goes home and he closes his door, and he's totally shaky, and he takes the money out and counts it, and it was $4,000. Just $4,000 in an envelope for him. And right away he was saying, you know, that he in his mind visualized that the person that lost it, you know, that it would return to them triple-fold, but that in the meantime he would consider it a gift from the universe, as there was no way for him or anyone to go to try and return it. And so he was able to make his mortgage payment and have a little bit left over. And within a month, he got a job with Disney and went on tour with them and made a ton of money. So the prosperity program really worked for him. I don't think that you have to do a 40-day prosperity program to get the same results. I think it's really nice, maybe if you have trouble focusing, it's really nice to have the discipline of something to answer to every day and a routine to do every day. For 40 days in these types of programs. But I think, like for example, if he were doing it again today, knowing what he knows and knowing what I know about Neville Goddard, he might go about it differently. Let's say, like if he needed a job, he could do any number of things. He would, you know, live in the wish fulfilled, as Neville says, and maybe he could just visualize that. So the end result would be that he already has the job. And so a little scenario that would represent that could be maybe he's at dinner and he's brought all his family out to dinner and he's watching them all enjoy their food. And then when the check comes, he signs it, knowing that he's completely able and comfortable with paying the bill, that he's able to give this to them. And maybe later out in the parking lot, his mom or maybe his father shakes his hand and tells him, you know, how proud he is of him, that he has the job that he's always wanted. So that way you avoid all the potential stressors of having to think of every little detail, like, you know, what kind of position would I be looking for, with what company. Sometimes when you're visualizing, it's difficult to flesh out all the details, and then you start to get disheartened. And so Neville's process of just living as if the wish has already been fulfilled, and you come up with a little scenario to mark that, and you're seeing the scenario out of your own eyes. You're not watching it like you're watching a movie. So if that scenario was that you were at dinner, you wouldn't be seeing yourself sitting at the table. You'd be looking out of your eyes. You could see your hands, you could see the plate in front of you, you could see the, you know, the bill come and see yourself signing your name. You could see all the faces of your family, but you wouldn't necessarily see yourself. And that makes it that much more real. And he also says it's extremely powerful to have these feel it real sessions before you drift off to sleep. So you could even pick a day, say, you know, 2 months after you've already started working and you already love your job, and you know that you jump out of bed in the morning eager to go to work, and now it's 2 months later, and what does that feel like right now, knowing that right now is 2 months after you've already gotten this job? How are you in the world? What's a regular day like for you? I don't mean necessarily at work, I mean like, say, a weekend day. What do you do knowing that you have the job, you know, that brings you all these feelings that you want, whatever those feelings are that you want, whether it's security or excitement or feeling appreciated, whatever those feelings are. So it's really powerful if you do that before you drift off to sleep. So you're offering no resistance as you sleep, and you go to bed feeling like this is your reality. And also when you wake up in the morning, also really powerful to do. So I hope you enjoyed this story.